All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and start this tutorial on all of this. I'm going to close all of this stuff first because we don't need it. Okay, cool. So we're going to start off with going to the SharePoint. Here at the SharePoint, you can go ahead and click here. It's going to take you to the home page. Here, we're going to want to go to Site Contents. Site Contents, perfect. So this brings us to all of our forms and stuff. So you can create a new list. For this one, we're going to use this test one. So I created a couple of different columns. I would suggest whenever you're creating a column on this that you stick to, so you press this little plus button, go to more column types, and I would suggest sticking to these guys. So like date and time, or yes or no with checkboxes, numbers, basically things that only give them options to check as opposed to them typing in information themselves. That will make sure that all the data stays standardized. So we're going to go with a choice menu, and we're going to call it doggos. Okay, so description not needed. We're going to require that information is selected, and we're going to select purebred, mixed, and non-lab. Cool. We're going to make that checkboxes, and we're going to delete this choice. That way it doesn't automatically have something in it. Press OK. So that's just a quick example of how to add things to this. Now, if you go to list, you can customize these things using info path like we did before, but we're trying to do the Powerapps. So what I suggest to do, instead of trying to go, there's two ways to get to Powerapps. I would suggest just going to Powerapps. So when you go to Powerapps, you're going to sign in. You're going to sign in with the information that you signed in with previously. So exactly how you sign into SharePoint, we're going to sign in with that. And then we're going to go to Data, Connections. And you should see this because that's how you signed in, using the admin at goldenretrieversanctuary.onmicrosoft.com. When you click there, you're going to go to Apps using this connection, and you're going to see the apps created there. So now how to get there from the other way is you go into Site Contents. You come over to the page that we made. Where is it? Okay, test. So you hit this little button over here, the three dots, go to Settings, go to Form Settings on this page, go to Modify Forms in Powerapps. If you have any issues logging in, go through it this way because this will automatically create the sign in for you, and it will automatically sign you in as well. Once we get here, we are actually going to, we're going to start from anew. So what I will do is I will get rid of all of this stuff. I will actually make a new screen, a new blank screen, and I'll delete this one. So new blank screen. To start out, we're going to make what's called a landing page. So we're going to go ahead and go in. We're going to add some text. We're going to make it text input. We're going to call this testing out how Powerapps works. We're going to increase this. If you need to edit this at all, the formatting is all over here. So format is text, and if you go down, you can change the, let's see here. Oh, if you want to change like the size, you go to advanced. You don't go to advanced. You go down to border radius, color, edit, single line, text. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and create the button. So you go ahead and go over to Insert, Button, pop that open. You can change the name of the button. We're going to say Continue. So now what I want to do is I want this Continue button to send me to the next page. So let's do a new screen. Let's make it our form. So our form is going to have two buttons up here, one that submits and one that does nothing. We're going to make it do something in a little bit. So now that we have our form, what we have to do is we have to tie this to our SharePoint. So in order to tie it to the SharePoint, all you do is you click here and you see where it says data and it says no data. Click here on no data source selected. There's a drop down. So click add data source, click admin, golden retriever sanctuary. And now from this, you can select any of our usable lists. So these are all the lists that we have on our SharePoint. So we were using test. So let's go ahead and select test and hit connect. So as you do that, it's going to go ahead and upload all the fields that were on test. Now, you can remove fields here. So here are the fields. I don't want attachments on there, so I'm going to remove attachments. I do want doggos. I can use location, objects, date, time, colors, title. I can remove title. Now, I don't like the way this is laid out. So if I want to move date and time up top, I just drag and drop. I can select doggos up here. Then I want to say the doggos. Then I want to say location. Boom. You can also change it if you want to do a horizontal or if you want to do vertical. And you can also change if you want 2 or 3 things on the same level. See how I changed it and now there's 2 things on each one? So you can also do that by minimizing these, or expanding these, I should say, actually. So there you go. So now we need to code in this. So this is going to submit edit form 1. That's all it's going to do. We don't need it to submit edit form 1. We need it to submit onto the test. So let's go over here and make sure that we have test form. So we're going to site contents again, remember? And here is that test. So here's this test form. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that when this hits submit, we are going to submit whatever form is in here. If you leave that as is, you know what? Let's go ahead and code this real quick. So we're going to make this a navigate. So whenever you select this button, we're going to have it navigate back to screen. And as you start typing, it will see that you have a screen 1 here. Screen 1. Boom. Oh no! All right, let's see if that works. It does not. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat and go and check my Powerapps. And you guys can do this as well. So as long as you promise you don't mess with my stuff, like don't change anything, but you guys can definitely come in here if you guys have issues and you can see how I coded some of my buttons. That way you don't have to look it up online like I painstakingly had to. So we're going to go to the Daily Care app and we're going to go to web link, Daily Care. And then once we're here, we're going to go to Daily Care here. We're going to go to site contents. Sorry, we could have gotten there faster. Where's the Daily Care? There's Daily Care. settings. Again, this is how you get to Powerapps. You go to Forms, modify Forms in Powerapps. So it's popping open, popping open, popping open. Okay, so my continue page is navigate, screen 1, none. So, and it's on select. So we're going to go back to screen 1, navigate to screen 2 because we're on screen 1. So we need to go to screen 2. Screen 2, none. That's saying that it's not working. We're going to navigate to at screen 2. Oh, that was the whole problem. So screen 2 worked, but I didn't have screen transition in there. So it's very finicky about what you're typing in. You have to type these in. And look, it changed it to none, but I guess it wasn't capital. So the long version of typing out none is screen transition dot none. So now when we hit play, hit continue, it takes us to the screen. Yay! So we're going to go ahead and do that over here. It's the easiest way to get to this portion of the page. And it says new form, daily care form. This is called the daily care form. So we are going to code ours to do the exact same thing. So we're going to do it to new form, except we're going to call it edit form 1 because that's what it's called. This is going to be submit edit form 1, just like this is submit form daily care form. We're also going to go ahead and put in this navigate. We are going to copy that. Instead, we are going to copy that and we are going to throw it into back to screen 1. Okay, cool. So when we go into play, going to hit continue. We're going to do submit item. It's going to take us back here. We can hit exit and it creates a new form for us. So if you notice, whenever I hit it the first time, it was blank. So that means there's an error with this, with the way that it comes over to this entire screen. So to click the screen, default mode is going to be new. So that means screen 2, our default mode now is new, meaning that anytime it's reinitialized to this page and it's viewed, it creates a new form. Next, we are going to check and see. Cool. So let's go ahead and play it again and see if we can. Perfect. So you notice how I clicked that and it came back? Now it came back over here, but it's showing the previous form. So what we have to do is we have to come back. We go to screen 1 again. We say continue to screen 2. when we get to screen two needs to have some way of basically saying on visible new form. So let's try that out now. Nope, that didn't work. Default mode, new, selected 0, 10 selected, advanced, navigate screen 3. On success. Interesting. Data source, daily care, form mood, new. So let's make sure that I have that tied into the same way. So, data source, haha, it was called test. We need it to be test, form new. We're going to call this test form. We're going to change this to test form. Now we select this, data source test, form mode new. Data source, ooh, daily care and parentheses, form mode new. All right, cool. So now that we've figured that out a little bit, let's make sure that this button has the same advanced rules as well. Text continue, tooltip true, color fade, button 1 dot fill, navigate, screen transition, none. Screen 2. All right. So, perfect. All right, there we go. So that's good enough right now. If you guys want to go ahead and get to that level of creating your apps and creating the 2 different screens, you guys can go into playing around with the settings. So you guys are going to want to go ahead and edit the way that these, sorry, my screen is messing up a little bit. Okay, so things like this text box. So if you go to more options, design, more options, you can start noticing that there's line height and clear and all of this stuff. Your biggest thing that you're going to be looking at is going to be your size. So you can do like 75. That's way too big. 25. Cool. Well, I don't like that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to align center. We all remember TP, right? And you can also set it. There's options here for like for wrapping and things like that. Not like busting a flow, but like you can wrap the text and things of that nature. And that's all under advanced, under design. So we can do single line, we can do multi-line. Perfect. So now that I made it multi-line, I can pop over to size, make that 50. Cool thing about this app is as you create things, if you need a, and you can press Alt and it allows you to move the stuff in here. But yeah, if you need more space, it will automatically make a scroll ball for you, which is kind of cool. But I don't like scroll ballers, so not in the app itself. So I'm going to just do that. And I'm going to do that. And that way I get rid of all the scroll bars. Now you can also do fills and things like that. Under this, you go to properties. And here's where you're messing with your fills. So I don't like the fill color. So let's change that to purple. Sorry, it's the wrong fill. Change that to light pink. And we're going to go back to advanced. We're going to click inside this box and go to properties. And now the fill is white. So we're looking for disabled color, border color, color. Make this yellow. God, that's so ugly, but it's Easter, I guess. And we can change the color here to red or green. Since we're going with this Easter theme, I'll make it ugly color green. Ugliest app in the world, but you guys get the point. Now you can also go into the continue button, same way. You can go down, you can go to the color, change it to black. If we want to make a match, we can change this to green as well. So you can change up all of the editing behind those things. If you guys just want to make everything look pretty, that would be great. And we will go ahead and see what you guys can come up with. You guys know how to navigate by creating this to navigate to different screens. Make sure you get that correct. This allows you to create a new test form. This allows you to submit a test form and navigate back to screen one. I would say that making a, you can also make new screens that are called success screens. So basically you can send that plus to come over to here to the success screen by pressing the plus. You can send it to the success screen to show them that it's actually been uploaded. And then you can have it sit on this screen for a little bit before it shoots them back to screen one. That I would Google if I were you. I will be doing the same. If you guys have any questions for me, or if something isn't working, go ahead and just write down your questions as you guys are trying, and I will get back to you guys tomorrow after class. Thanks.